welcome to those who just came on. And again, to those who just came on, we will be doing mid-body. I'm just going to introduce the class. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our day 7 of our 28-day yoga challenge. My name is Antoinette Solnik, and I'm so grateful to get to share this practice with you all tonight. Tonight's practice will be mid-body. We will be doing abdominal work. Your equipment for tonight will be a mat, both blocks, 2 blocks, your yoga strap, and yourself and your fortitude, your willpower. Let's push ourselves to our own personal edge tonight to be able to work our midsection. I'm going to go ahead and turn this in a landscape pose so you can really see what's going on here. And we'll get started. We're going to start off on, let's see, we're going to start off in child's pose tonight. So if you're just coming on and child's pose has not been done, remember you can bring your knees out wide on the mat. And if that's not accessible to you, remember that you can just put your head down toward the mat, sink your heart low in Anahatsana, coming into puppy pose. I also want to offer you too, if you wanted to place a block in front of you so that you put your forehead on the block so that you're not all the way down on the floor, that's on offer to you also. So there's lots of ways to get down to the floor without really working too hard. Really stretch. So walk the fingers up toward the top of the mat so you really feel a good stretch along the shoulders. Take a little shimmy from side to side as you move. On this first one, take a good deep inhale in, arriving in this present moment and exhaling out. Inhaling in to arrive and exhaling out. One more good deep inhale in. And exhale out. Walk the hands over toward the right corners of your mat. And reach longest with your right pinky finger. Reach, reach, reach. And then walk the hands back toward the midline. And then over toward the left side of the mat. As you reach longest with the right pinky finger, we start to sink in toward that right hip. Remember your breath in and out as you feel the rib cage expand and contract. And then come back to your midline, back to your neutral. And then let's come on to tabletop. Now is a good time to pad your knees. And remember also, if you have any sort of wrist issues, you should take your forearms down to a block. We're coming into tabletop to immediately start going into our abdominals. We're going to hover that right knee above the mat. I'm going to face you so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Now, as you notice, if I'm taking my right knee off the mat, I'm starting to sway over to the left side. See if you're able to right yourself in the middle. So you're taking the weight to both parts of your hands. Now lift up that right knee. We did this last night. But this is also working our abdominal muscles as we come into that kind of 80s fire hydrant sort of posture. Let's kick it up for 3, and 2, and 1. Now pause, continue to hover that knee, and then draw that right knee up. So we did this last night for hamstring, and then we're going to add to that. So we're going to take the knee down and then back up again. Now we are working our buttocks and hamstrings here, but also the abdominals need to kick in to be able to kind of fire up. I'm gonna let somebody else in. And down, go 3 more times. And 2 more. Now we're gonna add to this and 1 more. So stay here. Left hand comes out if you want to, and now crunch it in. Take your elbow and knee in toward one another, round the back, and now draw it up, or you can kick it out, your choice. So draw it in and come up and out. Draw it in and then come out. So neck is long. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to crunch it in. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Last one. And come on down. Knees and hand. Take your left foot. Hover that left foot a couple of inches above the mat. So remember, your natural inclination is going to go over to the right side. See if you're able to right yourself. So you place a little weight in the left. You might even need to widen the stance of the hand. That's okay. Take that left knee and draw it up into fire hydrant. Draw it up and come back. Draw it up. You can take your hands toward the edges of the mat. Maybe your pinky fingers are slightly hanging off the mat. So that way you know that you've got equal distribution of weight in both hands. 3 more and 2 more. Navel back toward the spine. And 1 more. Hover that left knee above the mat and kick up and come down. Focusing on the buttock and hamstring here, but a little on the abdominals. We're going for 6 and 5, 4, distribute the weight, and 3, 2, and 1. Stay here, take that right hand out. Draw elbow and knee in toward one another. And then lift out or kick out that left foot, your choice. Let the toes be down, draw it in. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, crunch it in. Let's go 8. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling to reach and exhaling. Inhale, good deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And as you exhale, navel back toward the spine. So you're using your core. Reach and extend and draw it in. 4 more, almost there. And in. 3 more. 2 more. Crunch it in. 1 more. Great job. Come off of your hands. Give yourself a little shake. Circle the wrist. Reach up and extend with our reach toward the ceilings. Circle the wrist again. Take the hands, steeplechase the fingertips. Reach up like you're going to touch the ceiling with the circle on the ceiling. Go in one direction. Now you're using your core. You can make a big circle. And so as you kind of crunch forward, using the abdomen, go in the opposite direction. Come up, good deep inhale, exhale down your right arm, just stretching here, reach and extend. If you have your block, you can have your block on your right side as you reach and extend. And then let's head over to the right side. So your hand can be on the block, your hand can be on the side of your leg as you reach and extend, your choice. You can kind of play around with that. You might be able to go deeper into the stretch with your hand on its block on its tallest point. Come on up, reach up and extend, both arms coming up. Exhale down your left arm. Move your block over to the other side. Rise up, reach up and extend. And then let's head over to the left side. Reach and extend with that right arm. So you feel a nice stretch here. Come on up, both arms. And exhale down. Let's come into plank. So let's come down to forearm plank first. So starfish the hands in front of you. The elbows are shoulder width apart. Remember, we find our shoulder width apart by placing one hand on top, so you're touching your elbows, and then you're finding your shoulder width. And here you are in forearm plank on the mat. Send the pelvis down. So we're just stretching here first. Lift the torso up. Shoelaces part of the foot is on the mat. And we're squeezing our buttocks as we take our chest forward. And we're taking an inhale in and an exhale out. So you should feel a nice stretch along the front part of your body that we're just about to start working a little more. Breathe here. Flex your buttocks. So squeeze your buttocks cheeks together. And then let everything go. Now, we're taking the pelvis down. So start to shift the pelvis slightly, like you're tucking it under, tuck the toes under, and then pick up the butt off the mat. Shift the weight slightly forward. You should start to really feel that in your core. If this is too intense, just drop down one knee. It's okay. And then come back up again and join us as we breathe in and breathe out. I know I am breathing in. Exhaling, I know I am breathing out. So push away with the elbows so that you really feel the strength and stability of that upper body. As you take a good deep inhale in, look down at the mat. Your feet should be about hip width distance apart. Take your left foot off the mat if you want to, don't if you don't need to. Right foot off the mat if you want to. Or stay perfectly still. Good deep inhale here. Tap your left toe over toward the left corner of the mat and come back. Tap your right foot over toward the right corner of the mat and come back. You don't have to do this. These are all on offer to you. As you inhale in, exhale, come on down, all the way down. Now let's roll over onto our backs. Ooh, that felt good. I hope that felt good to you too. We're gonna be so strong. Okay, on our backs with our knees bent. We find our heels with our fingertips. We're gonna tuck the tailbone, lower back on the mat and start to tuck the tailbone as you like lift the pelvis slightly up, buttocks slightly off the mat. So now we've engaged that pelvic area and now draw that left knee up and then come down. So my buttocks are slightly off the mat, maybe about an inch as I'm drawing that left knee up. Now we can add to this. So you can be here, lifting that left knee up, or you can take your right hand behind your right temple and now crunch it with the knee as you take the elbow toward the knee. And let's go for 10, and 9, 8, and 7, 6. Can I count today? 5, and 4, 3. Use your tummy to pull you up. 3, 2, and 1. If I miscount, we just needed to have an extra one automatically. Let everything soften here. Roll the head over from the right shoulder to the left shoulder. Press your lower back into the mat. Tailbone, the pelvis starts to rock slightly up. Buttocks 1 inch or a ½ inch off the mat. And then we're going to take our right knee up and then back down again. Take it up and come back down. So that's your action. Or you can interdigitate or take your hand, fan your hands, fingers behind your left temple, left back of your head, and then let's crunch it in. Take your knee and your elbow in toward one another. And let's go for 10. And 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Take your knees in towards your chest. Just hug the knees in. Take a little rock back and forth from side to side. This is your rest when we're coming into these postures. We're going to do a quick stretch. Just keep the right knee in, extend the left leg long. So we're going to be doing switches here. So slightly rock over toward your right side so you can flex your left buttock, then come back on the butt. There you go. And now draw your forehead up toward your knee if you can do that and that feels okay on your cervical spine. And now switch. And switch. So we're using our core strength to draw our switch, draw our head up toward our knee. If this is too much on you, you keep it here and you're switching. You're still getting benefit with your head down on the mat and switch. And you can take even a rest if that's too much. So do a little bit, do what you can, and then switch. And switch. And switch. We're going 3 more. You should be feeling it in your lower abdomen, and switch. That lower back is really into the mat, and switch. One more time, we're almost done. And switch. Great job. Send both legs out long. Inhale as you draw the left hands going all the way up toward the top of the mat. We're going to walk your feet, both feet, over toward the right corner of your mat. Your hands are going to go over toward the right corner of your mat. You're C-shaping your body. And then with your right hand, take your left wrist and guide that left wrist over toward the right corner of the mat for a nice stretch here. Take a good breath in and out. And then walk yourself over toward the midline. Reach and lengthen, opposite hand and opposite foot. Finding a nice stretch here. And then walk the feet over toward the left corner of the mat. Hands come over toward the left corner of the mat. We're C-shaping our body over toward the left side. Gently, you could grab your right wrist with your left hand and guide it over toward that left corner of the mat if you want a deeper stretch. And now we're going to come back to the midline. Bending the knees, lower back flattens in the mat. You tilt the pelvis up. So I always ask you to do that so that way you're really maximizing the abdominal core as you do each of the exercises that we do together. So we're taking our right foot up, touching that right toe, or if you want and you have your block close by, which I'm going to get now, you could tap the block to the foot. And then take your left foot up. Now in this first one, what I want to do is to go very slowly so you can stretch that leg up. It might be very tight in the hamstring. Maybe you were standing or sitting all day. Give yourself a little bit of a massage first. So again, you're flattening that lower back into the mat. The pelvis starts to tilt up, curling up like a scorpion's tail. And then we take the buttocks just a tiny bit off the back of the mat, the mat, and then touch the toes. Draw that right foot back up again. So we're just stretching. That should feel good as you bring it up toward the block. And then we're going to start to add the shoulders as you draw the shoulders off the mat to touch the toe. Come back down again, lift up. So inhale to come down, exhale to crunch up. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling. Now let's go a little faster. Touch the left toe and the right toe, and the left toe and the right toe. So you can even cross over to get something deeper, a little bit more significant, more intense. Continue it. You got this. And let's keep going. Three more. Two more. And one more. Come on down. Hug your knees in toward your chest. Take a little rock back and forth from side to side. Once your knees are rocked over toward the right side, bring them both over. If it feels okay on your lower back, and T-shape out the arms or goalpost the arms and allow the arms to rest open. So maybe you feel a nice stretch on the front part of the body. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit of a stretch in the hips and a little bit of a stretch in the abdomen. Breathe in and breathe out. Draw both knees back up toward the ceiling, and let's go over to the other side. So we're just taking both knees over if it feels okay. Now, if that doesn't feel okay, remember, I just was thinking about it, you can actually place your knees on a block so you're not so far over onto the ground as you come around. So that's just another option. Come on back. Both feet come back up again. Give yourself a little massage going down the back of the thigh. Point and flex the feet. We're going to do some crossovers. So again, you can just take your hands, cross your feet, one foot and then the other, or if you feel good. So remember, first start off, flatten that lower back, draw the feet toward the crown of the head, which lifts the bottom of the buttocks up just slightly, and you're starting to really engage your core, then lift up and start to cross. And let's go. Touch the feet. Find your breath here. You kind of find your own rhythm that feels good to you. You're going to go as fast as it feels good to you. Not too fast, but you're going right, left, left. And find your breath here. Let's head down to the ankles now. So again, lifting the feet up toward the crown of the head starts to draw the buttocks and that lower back kind of off the mat as you continue that cross. Let's head down toward our knees. Using now, once you get down toward your knees and then your thighs, you can take both hands over toward one side and then the other. If you notice that you're starting to use the back of your neck, take a pause, continue that motion, take a breath in and out, and then come back again so that you really feel the maximum effort of what you're doing. Let's start to travel back up. Heading back up toward the knees, start to cross over. You should be feeling this. Head toward the calves. Continue your pulse, back and forth. Head up toward the ankles. Maybe you start to feel that in the upper part of the abdomen and the toes. Keep going. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Ooh, draw the knees in toward the chest. Great job. Knees come down. Let's do a little bit of stretching now. Take your left foot to your right knee. Press that left knee away from the body. We're going to come into a little figure 4 here. When you're ready, draw the right knee off the mat. Thread your hands through and catch the back of that right thigh. Pull the right leg in toward the midline. Let the neck be soft on the mat. Remember, you can loll the head over from one corner, one side of one shoulder to the other, so that way you get a little bit of a release if you were using your neck muscles to pull your body up without actually realizing you're doing that. And breathe here. Really feeling a nice release. Breathing into tight spaces, drawing that right knee in a little bit more. You can circle that right ankle. You could even take the right foot up toward the ceiling and point and flex it. Lots of options here. We'll take our right foot down and our left foot down. Let's go over to the other side for a stretch. Right foot to that left knee. We'll push that right knee away from the body. Breathing. Drawing that left knee off the mat, left foot off the mat, and grabbing the back of our left thigh. Drawing the left knee in toward the chest or in the direction of the chest. And breathing here. Take a circle of that left ankle. As you breathe in and out, maybe you draw that left foot up toward the ceiling, point and flex. And then we'll take that left foot down and that right foot down. Great job. Let's go over and do another step. So we're going to take our right foot out and then draw it up toward the ceiling. So we did these the other night. Now remember, you can also take the block and have it above your head and then take your block to your foot. So we're taking the foot down and then coming up. Taking it down and coming up. Now you can add to that, remember. You can take your shoulders off the mat. So right hand is on the mat, palm down. Exhale as you touch the toe and hand together, or block and toe. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to crunch. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last time. And pause. Let's switch it out. Left foot comes up, touch the block with your right hand, lengthen, and crunch. If you want to take your head and shoulders off the mat, go there. Let's go for 10. And 9. 8. And 7. 6. And 5. 4. And 3. 2. And 1. Remove that. Take your knees in towards your chest. I like to hug the knees in toward the chest. It just kind of feels good. It allows the abdomen to just relax for a moment. A little sway back and forth from side to side. Let's go into happy laughing baby tonight. So if you have your yoga strap and you want to add that, you can. So remember, you can take the yoga strap, place it along the soles of the feet, then send the soles of the feet up toward the ceiling, high-fiving the ceiling. So you can be here in your happy laughing baby, or if you're able to catch your great toes and send the knees down toward the armpits, then this is your happy laughing baby. We're taking a little rock back and forth from side to side. And then just like a child being playful, we might extend one leg long and then the other. Really feeling kind of inner thigh as you make that motion, and then also just using this as a playful break, exploring your happy laughing baby. You can also roll all the way over to one side and then the other. Now we'll rock and roll, which feels good on the inner thigh. Just playing around with this posture. And then let's come back. So we're going to interdigitate the fingers behind our head. So you're cradling your head in your arm. We've got our left knee in and our right leg long, and we're taking our right elbow to our right knee. So you can be here, and we can do what we were doing before, where we're switching, touching elbow to the knee, or you can keep your head down, your choice. So let's go for 12 and 11, 10, 9, breathe, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Draw your knees in toward your chest. Take the feet wider than the mat. Windshield wiper the knees over toward the right side of the mat. Draw the arms above the head. Pause here for a moment. Maybe you goalpost your arms just to allow the arms to relax on the mat. Opening up the chest. Taking a nice stretch here. Breathing as we go. And then roll the knees. Windshield wiper them over toward the left side of the mat. Really feeling from that Right hip point going down to the right knee. Come back up again. Draw the knees back up toward the chest, to the ceiling. Point and flex the feet. And then feet on the mat. We're coming up onto our forearms. If this doesn't feel good to you, just keep your back on the mat. We're taking our right foot out in front of us. I'm going to face you. Now I'm going to take I'm sorry, I said right foot. So I'm going to go there. So right foot out in front of you. And we're going to take the toes of that right foot out toward the right side of the mat. And we're going to come up and then down. And come up and then down. Up and then down. I've got my elbows right underneath my shoulders as I lift this foot up. If you want to add, you can add your hand to that foot. Now you're getting a deeper crunch. You should be feeling that in the abdominals as you move. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go to the other side. So first set yourself up. Elbows are right underneath the shoulders. You're picking the torso up behind you. Left leg comes out now. Left toes come out. So you've got that kind of golf swing sort of positioning. Left arm is up. We're going to touch up and come down. Touch it up, come out. So just like we were doing before. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to touch. Come on up. Let's go for 10 and 9, 8. Engage your core, navel back toward the spine. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Come on down. Relax everything. Give a little sway from side to side. Whew. And let's find our heels with our fingertips. Knees are bent. We're coming into some bridge poses. So again, scoop the tailbone up, lift the buttocks off the mat, then take the hips up toward the ceiling. We're going to take our knees out toward the edges of the mat. Now come in. Take them out and come in. So we're squeezing your buttocks as you draw the knees into hip height, hip width distance apart, and then come out and then draw it in. So as you squeeze in, squeeze the buttocks cheeks together and then come out and then come in and breathe. Inhaling and exhaling as you squeeze. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. And then come on down. Roll over into your tummy. We're going to come back, do one more plank, and then we're going to come up with a little bit of upward movement. So again, find your shoulder width apart, starfish the hands in front of you. Drag the elbows toward the midline as you bring the chest forward, getting a nice stretch along the front part of your body, hopefully. And breathing here, breathing in and out. Add to that by taking the pelvis down toward the floor. You're pushing the elbows down into the mat and the shoulders are coming up toward the ceiling. We're taking our navel back toward our spine. We're squeezing our buttocks muscles. Really squeezing. Breathing here. We're looking down at the mat. We're going to tuck the toes under. We're coming into our second plank and draw it up. Shift the weight slightly forward. Feel the body as it engages. Maybe take the buttocks just a tiny bit higher so you really feel those abdominal muscles. Inhaling in, You can stay here with your feet about hip width distance apart and take 1 foot off and then the other. Take 1 foot off and then the other. Keep going. Or just stay perfectly still and focus on your breath. Last time, if you're lifting, stay here and touch that left toe out toward the left side of the mat and then come back. Right foot out toward the right side of the mat and come back. Tap it out. Tap it out. Last one. And come on down. Forehead down on the mat. Swim the hands down beside you. Here we are in that Shalabhasana posture again. Shoelace is part of the feet on the mat. Left foot's going to come up and then the right foot. Just start flutter kicking. You're breathing here. This should be kind of a rest in a way because we're not really doing abdominals. We're focusing more on buttocks and hamstrings. But we're also taking a little bit of a break from the abdominals that we were just doing. And we're breathing here. If you take your navel back toward your spine, maybe you notice the core engages as you lift the legs. Breathing in and breathing out. Last time. And pause. Draw the hands underneath the shoulders. Hug the elbows in toward the chest. Push the torso up. Come back into tabletop. Have your blocks at the top of your mat at their tallest point. And we're going to take our right foot forward. We're just stretching here. With your right foot forward, take your right foot all the way to the top of the mat. And then start to hinge into that right knee so that you feel that left front psoas muscle. Hands are on the block to give yourself a little bit of height. You can even spider tip the fingertips so that you're a little higher up, pushing the torso up. Shoelace is part of that left foot is on the mat. You're squeezing your left buttocks. You're getting some strength and stability of that back leg. Take your right arm up. Take a circle of that right wrist. And then hands come back to the blocks. Walk that right foot slightly backward so that now you have a good 90-degree angle, knee right above the ankle. Flex those the left toes and draw that left knee up off the mat. Maybe you need to widen your stance here if you want, or maybe your hands come to a chair. This might not be good for you in this posture. Just find your forward lunge in your own way. If it feels okay to come up onto the ball of the foot and then push back on the calf, go there. If not, then just stay on the shoelaces part of the foot and have the knee down. Right hand's going to come to the hip. We're just stretching. So root down with that left hand and take a look over toward the right side of the room and stretch the front part of that left hip. Fan that right hand behind you if you want, and then sweep it forward. Bend it back, and then sweep it forward. Last time. And then sweep it forward. Left knee comes down. Come off with the hands on the blocks, and then take your hands up. You might take that right foot, 1 footprint behind you, clasp the fingertips together. Flex your left buttocks so you feel the strength of that left leg. Let's head over to the right side for a nice stretch here. Breathe here. Come on up. Fan the hands down. Let's go over to the other side. Drag that right foot back. Right knee comes to meet the left. Left foot comes forward and comes all the way to the top of the mat as we hinge into that right front hip. Breathe here. Bring the torso up high so you feel a nice stretch. So this is a stretch for your upper body as much as it is that right front part of the hip. Squeeze your right buttock now. Squeeze here. Really accessing those muscles. Left foot comes back, maybe 1 footprint. We're going to take the blocks to frame that left foot, tuck the toes of the right foot under, draw the right kneecap off the mat if that works for you tonight. Take a little rock up and back. Left hand's going to come to the left hip. We're just stretching here, looking over toward the left side of the room. If you want to fan that left hand out, go. and then take it forward. Fan it out. And then take it forward. Fan it. And forward. Fan it back. And forward. Take that right knee down. Hands come off the blocks. Reach up and extend. Both arms coming up. Clasp the fingertips together and steeplechase them up toward the ceiling. Let's head over to the left side. Come on up. And hands are going to come down. We're getting right back into tabletop. And back for another set of a few more abdominals before we go into stretching. Back into tabletop. Hover that right knee. Draw the right knee up, right sole of the foot up. Extend that left leg long. Kick out that right foot. Now draw it all in. Hug in the elbows and the knee. Come back out. Hug it in. And reach. Crunch it in. Inhale to lengthen and exhale. Three more. And two. And one. Come on down. Let's go to the other side. Reach and extend. Left, right arm and left leg. Crunch it in. Reach up. Crunch it in. And reach up. 1 for 8. And 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Great job. Send the knees out toward the edges of the mat. Sink the body back, buttocks back. Come into child's pose. Rest your forearms on the mat to give yourself a little bit of a break. Forehead on the mat as well. Take a little rock with the head as you shake your head. No. Letting your mat massage the front part of your forehead. Releasing the lower back. Just resting here. Taking another good breath in and out. Rock the weight forward. Come back onto your backs. We're going to go one more couple sets of abdominals, and then we'll come into a rest. So we're going to do our switches one more time. Interdigitate your fingers behind your head. Let your back of your head rest on your finger. Switch. And switch. We're going to go for 20. And 19. 18. 14. 13. You got this. 12. 11. 11. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. The knees in toward the chest. Take a little rock back and forth from side to side. Breathe here as you go. Great job. Take the feet up toward the ceiling. Palms down. Left foot down. Left foot down, right foot up. We're going for 20. 19. 18. 17. 16. 16. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 1. Way to go. Draw it in. Extend the legs long. Draw the arms over the head. Take your left foot up and then bring it down. Right foot up. You can touch or not, doesn't matter. You can just go in the direction of that. Add to that, but nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, hug the right knee in, extend the left leg long, and flatten that left leg down on the mat. We're just twisting. Taking the right knee across the body and goal posting or T-shaping out that right arm. Let the gaze go toward that right outstretched palm or that right elbow, depending on what you cross the body a little bit more, enjoying that nice stretch along the right hip or maybe even the torso. And then we're going to draw the right knee in toward the chest and switch it out, taking the left knee and extending that right leg long, right calf on the mat, and then guiding that left knee across the body. In and out. Great job today. You guys did awesome. Come back in and extend the legs long. Draw the arms over the head. Take the fingertips and steeplechase your fingertips and then walk your feet and your fingertips over toward the right side for a stretch. And your toes over toward the left corners of your mat. Working the brain in a different way. And then let's come back and swing the arms down. Let's come into Viparita Karani tonight. So you can bring your legs up the wall, or legs roll the blanket and place that on the floor where the neck roll goes right underneath the neck so that your head is resting on the blanket. And that way you have like a little neck roll. To you tonight. But I just encourage you to get into this posture because we just spent a considerable amount of time working on our abdominals. So just really giving ourselves a nice rest. And as you get into that beginning to feel the rise and the fall of the chest. Feeling the air as it enters the nostril. Giving yourself a quick body scan to notice as you lie in Viparita Karani or in Shavasana, where you may be holding a little more the temples, releasing the jaw, releasing the neck muscles. Notice if you're holding any tension in the shoulders. Softening the abdomen. Softening the belly, the lower belly. Releasing tension in the hips and buttocks. Softening the if that's what's happening. Releasing tension in the calves, the ankles, and the feet. With gratitude. And then softening your attention to the words of our meditation tonight. Managing our inner critic. Just put out what we could improve or work on. But for many people, the inner critic goes way overboard, continually pointing out our faults, failings, and comparing us unfavorably to others. You could have handled this better. You are incompetent. You should have done it this way or that way. Have you ever said these things to yourself? An embarrassment, of paralysis, where we're almost incapable of acting because it'll never be good enough. Tackling our inner critic is challenging. But with a little bit of motivation and practice, it can be done. Start by becoming more aware. Mistake. Notice key phrases that you say to yourself and the tone of your voice when you're criticizing yourself. Awareness in itself can be curative. Sometimes just by surfacing the thought, we can realize that it isn't actually true. Or we can stop it before it gets into this cycle of even more negativity. Focusing on the breath can take the attention away from the voice of the inner critic and can help break the spiral of negative self-talk. We're imagining that you have the volume dial to turn and then use it. Seeing yourself turn the volume up and then turn it down, twisting the dial so that it gets lower and lower. Spend time with your family members or pets. You want to do something that will change and lift your emotional state. Your inner critic is just a pattern of thinking that you've gotten caught up in. With a little bit of practice and time, you'll be able to see that inner critic for what it really is. Unhelpful, over the top, and wisdom. And allow yourself the space and capacity to try new things, develop, and grow. Viparita Karani. Bringing yourself over to your right or to your left side. To keeping the eyes closed or the gaze soft. Just noticing how the body feels in this moment now. We've done a fair amount of work today. Great job. Really, we've all done it together. Take a good deep inhale and lift. World. And Om Shanti Swarupaha Aham. Let me be an active part of that peace. Let me remove my ego so that peace can happen in this moment, in these moments. Take a good deep inhale in. And as you exhale, let's bow together and share the word namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me tonight.